Perhaps two further questions, one French one and one American one.
Thank you. Senator Obama, it's been a busy week, 8 days, 9 days. We lose track after a while. You have been to war zones. You've met one-on-one with 20, 25 leaders, including President Sarkozy here. In all that you've heard in those discussions, is there anything that has caused you to rethink or perhaps refine anything, any of your policies, anything that you thought you believed coming into this trip? And President Sarkozy, your opening statement sounded a great deal like an endorsement. Was it that? And if so, have you conferred with your good friend President Bush about this?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm going to warn my dear friend President Sarkozy to be very careful about that second question. In terms of what I've learned, I think on a trip like this, what typically happens is not blinding insight, but rather a deepening of a set of concerns that you already had. And so I didn't see there was nothing that I saw that caused me to change my basic strategic assessment of our security situation moving forward and some of our top foreign policy priorities. I mean, going to Afghanistan confirmed for me that the situation is worsening there, that we're going to have to put more troops in, that we've got to deal with issues of the narcotics trade, we've got to do more for ordinary Afghans, and we've got to deal with Pakistan and the situation in that border if we're going to secure it. My trip to Iraq confirmed that the security situation has greatly improved, that our troops have performed an extraordinary service, and that the Iraqi government is ready to take more responsibility, and that will free up our capacity then to begin withdrawing our troops at a steady, prudent pace. And that we still have work to do on the political side in resolving issues like how oil revenues are going to be allocated, and that there are still suspicions between the Sunni and the Shia in the country that are under the surface and sometimes above the surface. And that political reconciliation, that work has to be our top priority, as well as making sure that the Iraqi government is capable enough to deliver for its people. My impressions in the Middle East confirmed that the talks that emerged out of Annapolis are very useful and productive. But it is going to be important for the United States to engage in a significant way in moving those issues forward. President Sarkozy did mention one area that hadn't received much attention stateside, but I think does present an opportunity. I was interested in seeing that people in Israel were very interested in pursuing or very interested in what a shift in Syrian foreign policy might bring. That if, in fact, Assad was serious about dealing with their support of Hamas or their support of Hezbollah, that could be a game changer. But understandably, they were skeptical about how quickly that might move. But I think that's an area worth exploring, and having leaders like President Sarkozy helping to move that along, I think has enormous potential. And in terms of my visit to Europe, it confirmed for me that you have some extraordinary new leaders like Chancellor Merkel, like President Sarkozy, who are oriented towards working effectively with America. And that some of the tensions and differences that we've had in the past are precisely that. They're in the past. And that Europe is ready to move forward, and I think we have to have an American administration that is also ready to move forward, and I think that's starting to happen. One last point I guess I would make is that there is uniform concern about Iran. That was the other thing that I think was helpful. I always considered it one of our utmost threats. I knew that Israel considered it their top security priority. It was gratifying to see that there's no leader I spoke with that was not concerned about the possibility of Iran getting a nuclear weapon, understanding not only that it would pose an existential threat to Israel, but that it would help to potentially unravel any work that we might hope to do on non-proliferation issues, and that it would change the strategic balance in the region in a way that could be very dangerous in all sorts of ways. And so I think there's an opportunity to really create a unified international effort on this front. And President Sarkozy will be, and has been and will continue to be, one of the most important leaders on this issue.
Oh, mais, monsieur, c'est les Américains qui choisiront leur président.
It's the Americans who will choose their president.
Pas moi.
Not me.
Les Américains.
The Americans.
Vous êtes assez grand pour vous faire une idée.
You're adult
Et
enough
je n'ai pas attendu
to realize
l'élection
what that
présidentielle
means. I
pour
did
dire
not
que la France
wait
voulait
for
travailler
the
main dans la main avec les
presidential
États-Unis d'Amérique.
election to hear
On
that
l'a assez
France wanted
critiqué,
to
on l'a
work
assez reproché
hand in
parfois ici.
hand with the United States.
Bon,
I've
mais
been
on a quand même
accused
le
of
droit
that
d'être intéressé.
many times, but one can be interested
Pas un candidat qui regarde l'avenir et pas le passé.
by a candidate who looks
Quand
forward,
même, la
looks
politique,
ahead,
c'est un peu aussi ce qui
and
m'occupe.
not in the past.
Et ça fait pas si longtemps que j'étais candidat à l'élection
Politics concerns
présidentielle.
me. It wasn't such a long
J'en ai
time ago
quelques
that I
souvenirs.
was a candidate for the
Et ça
presidential
m'intéresse
election.
d'en parler avec
I
quelqu'un qui est dans la
remember
même
it,
situation.
and I like to talk about.
Entre collègues de
about
travail,
it
on
with
dirait c'est un
someone.
échange d'expérience.
You know, we could say it's a
ça
work
qui est
exchange, and that's interesting.
Et c'est d'ailleurs pour ça que j'ai voulu, dans la réforme de la Constitution en
in the
France,
reform of the French Constitution in
limiter le nombre
France,
de mandats
I wanted
consécutifs
to
d'un président à deux.
limit
Parce que j'admire cette capacité qu'a la démocratie
amount
américaine
of
d'être capable,
constitutional mandates
à
to
échéance
restrict
d'une
them to
décade,
two,
un peu moins, de proposer au pays de nouveaux
to
leaders,
offer new leaders
avec une nouvelle énergie, une nouvelle
to a
force,
country
une
with
nouvelle histoire.
a new story,
Et
a
ça,
new
c'est une force
strength.
de la démocratie.
And that is the strength of a
De
democracy.
permettre à la démocratie de
To
respirer.
allow a democracy
Pas toujours les
to
mêmes, tout le
breathe,
temps.
not always the same people all the
Donc vous me direz,
time.
je dis ça parce que je suis au début. Je
You may
pense que je
say
pense
to me,
encore
I
pire à
can
la fin.
say that because I'm at the beginning of my mandate.
chance à
Perhaps
Barack Obama.
it'll be worse at the
Si
end
c'est
of my
lui,
mandate. And good luck
Eh
to
bien, la
Barack
France
Obama.
sera très heureuse.
France will be
Si
very
c'est un autre,
happy.
la France
If it's
sera
someone else,
l'ami des États-Unis d'Amérique.
France will be the
Comme
friend of
lui.
the United States. Just as he,
Quand il y aura des élections
when there'll
en
be
France ou un
elections
autre,
in France,
il ne dira pas aux Américains
someone
de
else.
choisir.
he won't say it's up to the
Mais
Americans
bon,
to
c'est
choose.
vrai que c'est une
Well,
conversation
it's
que
true,
nous
it's a
avons
conversation
depuis quelque temps
that
qui
we've been
intéresse.
having for some time, and
Puis on a le
which
droit d'être en accord.
is of interest. Ça
veut pas dire qu'on a un désaccord avec les autres.
It doesn't mean that we disagree with the
simplement dire
others. It just simply
qu'on se
means
parle.
that we talk,
Et puis on trouve des points de convergence.
and we find that we have
Après toutes
points
les années
in common.
que vous avez connues, vous les Américains, avec nous,
After
C'est
all the
plutôt une
years
bonne
that
nouvelle.
you've seen with us,
si c'était
it's
votre
rather good
question,
news.
c'est aussi ma réponse.
If that was your question, it's also my
Une dernière question.
answer.